Rundown live July 11th after some technical difficulties. I apologize. I couldn't get the camera to work. Don't point fingers, but Hank was here when we did the rundown. I left the camera in shambles and didn't reset it up, so I couldn't figure out how to do it. I don't think it has battery. No big deal. We'll just go on. July 11th, Dog Days of Summer, brought to you by Lisa Mattresses. $75 off. Doesn't matter if you sign up now. It doesn't matter if you have a new mattress today, tomorrow, 10 years from now. They'll honor that $75. Lisa Mattresses, I slept on my Lisas all week long. They're great. Everybody did. We had a house full of guests, no complaints. I can even sleep on Lisa mattresses without sheets. I did that one night. They're in the laundry. I just fucking plopped down. It was that comfortable. So Lisa mattresses. I am the face of Lisa. Click on the link below, $75 off. Let's get into the subjects. I mean, the number one story in the world is Pokemon Go. I mean, it is literally the number one story. I tried to sign up last night. I don't have the Google thing, the trading card. I don't know. They're having so many people play it. So the other option didn't work. KFC, you wrote a blog that you despise it. I saw the video of all the Asians in Central Square. I actually wanted to go and interview them. Like, what are you doing? I sort of am starting to get it. It's like GPS based. You capture the Pokemons when they're running around in the city. Dan, I haven't heard you weigh in on Pokemon at all, but it's huge. What's crazy is I saw the stat that Pokemon Go already has as many active daily users as Twitter. That is insanity. So we'll start with you, KFC. What do you got on this?
It's pronounced Pokemon. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know how it's pronounced now. I didn't know how it was I've never talked to anybody about Pokemon until...
Huh? This shit is trash. It's garbage. I get that I'm the old man yelling at the cloud. You're going to say I'm washed up. You're going to say you love it and blah, blah, blah. If you walk around town with, like, your buddies, you're a loser. Like, there are guys walking around this city together trying to catch Pokemons. That is some loser shit. I can't imagine a world where this is going to be considered cool. I don't want to be a part of that world. So if I'm old and washed up, so be it. Video games are made to sit inside, sit on the couch, Kevin Couch Clancy, and not to walk around town, bumping into Asians, running around with strangers, colliding into each other to collect little fucking Japanimation Asian characters in augmented virtual reality. How is that? How do we live in a world where that is now considered cool?
Okay, Big Cat, what do you got on the Pokemon debacle?
I'm stuck. This is, I agree with everything Kevin said. These losers walking around with their face in their phone, bumping into people. That clip of all of the Asians in Central Park is out of this world. And Dave, it's the fact that it's downloaded more than Twitter. It's like the old saying: if you can sell like a can of Coke to everyone in China, you're a billionaire. This is just like, if you can capture the Asian market, you'll make so much money. But I saw your whole video last night. There is an element where I'm like, I got to at least check it out to keep my eye on the young kids. So we have mentioned it on Pardon My Take. We're doing a week-long who can catch the most Pokemon, and loser gets literally stuffed into a locker. So we're stuffing the loser into a locker. So that will be, I guess, I'm in for at least 1 week. I hate it, but I'm in for 1 week.
I will have it tonight. A lot of people sent me. First of all, I guess Spag said we're on. We
are. Yeah, you in classic you fashion, you realize you could easily sign up for Pokemon with your Gmail account because we moved all of our emails to Gmail a year and a half ago.
But so you're saying like Portnoy at barstoolsports.com,
yes.
And I put in my password for that email and it will work. It will not.
I sign into Chicago Tips every day on Gmail.
I guarantee you, if I put in my email with my password, it will not work. That's a fucking guarantee.
We've been on Gmail for a year and a half.
I absolutely hope that you at least tried that, so you know for a fact it's not going to work. Right, Dave? You've tried that.
I have not tried that.
We're on Gmail.
I will try
if you go to gmail.com and put in your email, it will show up as your email.
Okay, so I'll try that, and if it doesn't work, somebody DM me a password. So I will start playing tonight. And for all you fucking losers who care that I pronounced it the wrong way, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't give a fuck. That wasn't on people like that's on purpose. It wasn't on purpose. I thought Can you see what just popped up? I thought it was. Can you guys see that?
No.
I thought it was Pokemon's like a person. So there's a bunch of Pokemons. I'm running around trying to catch the Pokemon. And for all you motherfuckers, I was rescuing the fucking princess on One Fucking Life back when these fucking kids were a twinkle in their mother's fucking eye. So don't tell me about playing fucking games. Yeah. I could hop on fucking Nintendo with Robbie the fucking robot and get the princess from that fucking dinosaur on One Life, 3rd level, where you just hit the turtle 1,000 fucking times and get 1,000,000 free lives. Tyson's Punch Out, one fucking time I go all the way through. So don't tell me about this Pokemon. I was doing Nintendo when these fucking punks were fucking, their parents were fucking doing over the hand jobs to fucking get pregnant. So don't tell me about Nintendo.
So Dave, are you on my side then? You're doing it just to check it out, but you hate it, right?
No, I don't know. I haven't played it. I'll tell you. I'll give an honest answer.
You might get hooked. Okay.
Yeah, I could get hooked. Feidelberg and Lewis are like into it.
But they are Kevin and I are basically the cutoff. Like if you're 29 or older, you did not do Pokemon. We missed it by like 3 years. So we're the exact cutoff.
That is part of my problem. I don't even know what it fucking. I thought they were trading cards. I thought they were like garbage pail kids.
Kevin and I are old, like the perfect age where we know what it is, but we know you're a fucking loser if you do it. Whereas Feidelberg and Lewis are like, we used to play it when we were 12.
Okay. The only thing I'll say is there seems to be like an element of competition involved. I like competition. I like the image of me like just shoving those little Asians like out of the way and like grabbing the Pokemon from them. I'm not sure how that works.
Dude, Asians will fucking stay up for like 7 days straight to play this shit. You're out of your mind, Dave.
Yeah, but not now. We're in the physical environment where there's pushing and shoving involved.
No, you're
go down to Central Park and try to out Pokemon the Asians. They will fucking dance circles.
They'll eat you alive, Dave.
I have a question because I was going to go make a video if we had a camera guy of me in the park with the Asians. But are things rotating? Like I looked at that video, it was from 9 hours ago by the time I saw it. So have the Pokemons moved? Or are they always there? Is that always a spot for that? There's always now for the next 2 weeks going to be Asians looking for the Pokemon in Central Park.
So from my limited understanding, I downloaded it this morning because I don't want to get stuffed in a locker. I went to get Starbucks and I caught 4 Pokemon on my way to getting Starbucks.
I don't even know what the fuck that means.
I caught a rat.
What do you have to do?
They just pop up, and you just
if you just walk by them, you catch them, you throw a fucking net on them.
They pop up, and they're like, ooh, and like your phone vibrates, and then you throw a little ball at them, and then they get caught in the ball, and then you go and drop them off at the bank, and there's different banks like all around the city.
What is the gym? What is the gym talk? People,
I don't know. That scared the shit out of me. It popped up. They're like, hey, you're not level 5 yet. You can't come to the gym. I was like, okay, I'll stay at level 4 then forever.
The gym? What are we talking about? Japanimation. When did Japanimation and Asian stuff become cool things that Americans do? We are here to make fun of that stuff. We are not supposed to be the Asians. We're supposed to make fun of the Asians.
I got to tell you, when they said the stock went up 23%, I looked. I didn't even understand that. I didn't know it was on the Japan stock market. I'm like, how much is? I looked at that for like 20 minutes. I'm like, what the fuck is this stock? Looks like it was like 2,300 million to buy one share. It's like made no fucking sense.
What locker are we gonna put you in if you lose?
Might have to make one. Maybe we make one at the office, Dave. That actually wouldn't be a bad thing to have at the office. Just a locker you can stick people in.
Yeah, well, we got the bird cage.
Yeah, I know, but just maybe a locker under the bird cage.
Yeah. Tim Duncan retired. Boring. Big Cat, you got anything on this? I wasn't even going to put this on, but he's such a great player. It's like, might as well put it on. I guess we show that clip, Milmore, of him knocking the hat off that guy, which was funny. But I got nothing to say.
I mean, it's going to be weird watching the NBA without Tim Duncan. He's been a staple of NBA for 20 years. Mr. Fundamental, lost a great fashion guy too. I mean, no one gave less of a shit about like fashion trends than Tim Duncan. He was forever stuck in like that late 90s spot where everything was super, super baggy. But yeah, I said top 10 player all time, number 1 power forward all time.
KFC?
I would say Tim Duncan is the quintessential dude that you like. I hated him growing up. And then as I got older, I just grew to respect him and like couldn't deny how good he was. Like I was rooting for the Knicks with like losers like Spreewell, being like, "This is what basketball is." And meanwhile, Tim Duncan's just out there winning rings. So by the end of his career, you just can't deny him. Number 2, I think he can just come out of the closet now that he retired, right?
Oh, you think he's gay?
There's always been rumors.
I was sneaky. That's gonna sound weird. I don't know why. I was a Wake Forest fan growing up, so they had like him, Randolph Childress. They had Rodney Rogers.
Rodney Rogers, jeez.
Yeah. I was like a Wake fan. It was They had some good years too. UFC. So what we got here? A bunch of UFC news. They sold for $4 billion. Our boy Darren Rovell, like dunking all over Dana White, but I'm sure Dana White isn't overly concerned with the $4 million paycheck. And then we have UFC 200. I didn't watch it. I was on vacation. I kind of even forgot it was happening. Sounds like I didn't miss much. Big Cat, what do you got?
Yeah, it wasn't very good, and it was. I mean, it was one of those like fight cards. There was the combination of a couple dominating performances where it wasn't that great of a fight, and then like the Cormier fight wasn't good. Brock Lesnar just kind of, beat the fuck out of Mark Hunt, and then the chick fight lasted like 90 seconds. So it wasn't a great card, but yeah, the story is Darren Rovell. He dunked on Dana White so hard. The nerds have finally won one. Because Dana White tried to bully Rovell. He tried to bully him into not releasing that story back like in March. Rovell trusted his journalist. Everything he learned from Northwestern, he trusted his instinct. He went with it, and he proves that he was right. And I love that he was like sending emojis to Dana White on Twitter today.
KFC?
It's tough to call the dude who just sold his company for $4 billion a loser, though.
It's not his company, but yeah.
Well, I thought it was him and then like the 2 dudes from
Those
Vegas.
guys own like 95% of it.
Oh, all right. So then they made. Just the fact that they bought it for like I think it was $2 million and they flipped it for $4 billion is crazy.
Yeah, it's a huge payday, but Dana White is not. Dana White didn't get like $1 billion here or anything like that.
Got it.
Like what did he get? Like $100 million?
Yeah, something like that. But it's obviously it's huge, but I'm just saying, like, he's not. The other 2 guys are the ones that really got the money.
Without knowing anything about the deal, the logistics, I hate the deal. I don't think the sky's the limit for UFC. I think UFC is kind of at a very high level right now, but I don't know. I
disagree. I totally disagree.
I don't know. I think it's too unpredictable.
It's been a straight shot. Like if you look at their growth, it's been year over year. And boxing, Dave, you and I both love boxing, but it's fucking dead.
Yeah.
This is my problem. This is not my problem. And maybe it's not true. I could be wrong about this. I think boxing is more likely for like the great fighter to always win. So you have like the great champions. Whereas I think UFC and the like the nature of the tap out and the holds, and I think it's more unpredictable where guys, it's harder to keep that guy who's like.
But that adds an element too. Conor McGregor gets knocked out, and now you have this, you have the next fight where everyone wants to tune in. Boxing is dead. I don't know what, like the heavyweight division is dead, and Floyd Mayweather's done. Where's boxing going to go? I don't see how MMA doesn't take all of that.
I wasn't really like a UFC versus boxing thing necessarily.
Right, but I don't know. Like, there's a market share obviously out there for fighting, and I think MMA is going to scoop all of it up.
I also think that it's like when the Conor McGregors pop up, when like the Brock Lesnar's are involved, there's just going to be more of those people down the line as it grows. You're just going to have a bigger pool of charismatic stars to choose from.
Yeah,
wrestlers crossing over and shit. All of that's going to keep going, and that only makes it bigger.
All right, I can live with that. Let's do a commercial break. So Reese Witherspoon posted a picture with her daughter. Stunning photo because it literally looks like it's Reese Witherspoon. Like, and I know parents look like their kid. It looks like it's Reese Witherspoon. Just turn back the clock. And by the way, I kind of forgot how hot Reese Witherspoon is because her daughter is like mind-blowingly gorgeous. How old is she? Before I start. By the way, let's play that clip of while we're talking about how old chicks are. Just Michaela Maroney with the Dave Portnoy shout out. By the way, people are saying I had nothing to do with that. I don't know. Stewie must have obviously pranked her, but thank you for that shout out, face.
I'm just confused right now. Hi, Dave Portnoy. How do you say your last name?
But Reese Witherspoon's daughter, gorgeous. No other way to put it.
16, just to throw it out there.
Okay, very pretty.
Very pretty.
She's very pretty.
She's classically pretty.
Classic beauty.
Handsome. She's very handsome.
KFC, what do you got?
You think she likes this? Like, obviously, it's a good thing that you look like a fucking very pretty Hollywood star. But I could see, like, a 16-year-old girl hating the fact that she looks this much like her mother.
I don't know when your mother's that. When your mother's
that hot and famous, you're just like, fuck it, this is great that I look like her.
Yeah. I mean, when the alternatives, like, when you're in the top 1% of the 1%, I don't think you give a fuck, like, that you look exactly like your mother when she was probably 16. Big Cat?
The story also, I know that every girl usually goes through this phase. Just don't do the nose ring. The nose ring is the worst.
Disagree. Love nose ring.
I like the stud. She doesn't have a hoop, right? She has a stud.
She has a hoop. She has a hoop.
I like the hoop. I can do a stud. The hoop is like you're a gothic freak.
No.
Right. It's like trash. It's a trashy move.
No,
that's Dave. That's weird for you, Mr. Nantucket, like highfalutin, I'm so rich. The nose ring is a trashy move.
That's lowbrow.
That's
time.
very white trash.
No, nose ring is just simply raising like a little freak flag at half mast to be like, I'm not as straightforward. I'm not pure vanilla ice cream. That's all that is.
If a nose ring walks into one of your like white parties in Nantucket, it gets kicked out.
It does not.
Well, then you're not going to the right white parties.
That's the perfect. That's the perfect thing. It's you walk into a white party dressed like very classic. Ooh, but a nose ring. What's going on there?
That tells me you aren't going to the real parties in Nantucket.
Okay, well,
actually, you know what? You told me you had a 4th of July barbecue that was just for all the bartenders in Nantucket. So
I got invited to the Purple Rain party on Eel Point with the Belichicks. You have to wear all purple. So don't tell me I'm at the right parties. And nose rings. Give me a little nose ring. Give me like an under the cover like nipple ring. All that shit's like
nipple ring is different. I would
ton.
agree with the nipple ring. That's under the cover. The nose ring is blatantly in your face. I'm kind of trash.
I like it. Bull kills Matador. We do this just every time running the bulls. Pamplona, go bull, go. Wasn't very gory, but that happens a lot. It's like the after effect. I think that the guy even maybe get up for a second before he died. Always wrote for the bull. I don't even know we have more to say here. I just like the bulls always to know I got your side. People who don't take the bulls versus the human side are preposterous. They kill the bulls no matter what at the end. So, bull, take out as many fucking humans as you can. KFC?
I usually get more satisfaction out of the running of the bulls because I just like to see the idiots get gored. But I guess the bullfighters are worse because they're literally sitting there seeing them. So, yeah, go bull, go.
I'm so team bull that when that guy, like his eyes kind of rolled in the back of his head and it was like, boom, you're dead. I was like, yes. It's kind of fucked up.
Yeah. No, it isn't, though. It isn't. I have no problem. You shouldn't be able to save people or run out of the ring. If you're going to kill the bull, there should be no rescue operation. Once the bull has you, they can do what you're doing to them. Team bull all the way. Go bull, go. This could be a quick one. Let's save this for the after show. Best clips of the weekend. We had a couple weird ones that I thought we should show. Manny trying to skimboard. Big Cat, we've done this, and it is actually fairly difficult. So Manny just like doing the way Manny did it was hilarious. I
was going to say, listen, skimboarding is very tough. Everybody knows you don't do it in like 3 feet of water. He was like halfway into the fucking ocean when he tried it. Come on, Manny.
So the Manny doing that. We had this crazy monster dunk on the rebound. The guy dunked over somebody. And then the ACL beer pong dunk. That was my favorite because do we actually know what happened to the knee guy? Because that is like he's out for 8 to 12 months after that move. The screenshot of his knee just going totally the wrong way. And you have people laughing at you because it's funny, but you're like in intense, excruciating pain. They should have kept it going because he totally tried to get up and like his knee wobbled and he went right back down. So that was my favorite. Big Cat, what do you got?
I like that one too because he seemed to be the only black guy at that party. So they're like, oh yeah, you're going to be able to jump over this. And then he blows out his knee. I also want to give a quick shout out to the Giants game being weird all around with the chick trying to catch a foul ball with her entire food tray and Buster Posey throwing that ball back right into Jake Peavy's arm, which was wild. That's a 1 in a million shot.
Yep, 2 more clips that I should have had. I meant to talk about the tray lady.
Tray lady's nuts. The tray lady, listen, when a foul ball comes at you, I can understand sometimes you do wacky stuff. You freeze you lock up in the moment. But throwing a whole tray of food at it makes zero sense. That's such a chick move. The dude breaking his knee, the best part is how everybody laughs at him. There's enough people around him because you're not thinking, you don't know the dude broke his knee in real time. I'm sure afterwards he was screaming like, I broke my knee. And they were probably like, what? You fell over the table. So the fact that everyone was laughing in his face while he probably had to get his leg amputated later takes it to the next level.
And Trey lady, too, I'll just say, she had a look of like shock. Like she couldn't even, like, what happened? Like, how did my food get knocked over? Like, what just went down? Millmore, make sure we put that clip in. Last one that we got here, Bradley Cooper. It looks like he made Irina Shayk cry at Wimbledon. Maybe some sort of joke that didn't go over well. Feidelberg actually blogged this after I blogged it, said the same exact thing. It's in the pipeline. Every dude has been like, Bradley Cooper was stunned. You want to talk about people who are stunned? Like, he kind of leaned over to, like, look at her, whether she was serious. And it's just like, what the fuck just happened? So just shows, doesn't matter how good looking, how famous, whatever. Big Cat, what do you got?
There's no worse position to be in than making like a significant other, a girl, cry in public and being like, fuck. It's you and then you immediately go into crisis mode. You're like, gotta get the toothpaste back in the tube, gotta get those tears back. Bradley Cooper, I don't know why. This is why you need to have your chick wear sunglasses at all times, like out in public. Because if the cry happens, then at least you got the cover up. This was out in the open. You had no hiding.
Especially when you're famous. If it's problems for us when you're famous, he's leaning over going, you're going to cry? You're really going to cry?
Right.
I'm fucking Bradley Cooper. You're Arena Shriek. You're going to fucking cry in public? That you can't escape that. You can't fix that.
His face, the opposite of the others, actually, in a way, said it looked like he understood everything that was happening instantly in real time. Like that he was processing that this was on camera, like that she was crying, and he was just helpless. That face is like, there's nothing I can do right now. There's nothing to save it. So that's a rundown. Post-show, KFC, I see you chirping. Big Cat, I don't know if I haven't heard you. You really prefer out-ground pools over in-ground pools?
I have a blog coming out explaining myself. I think the nostalgia of above-ground pools outweighs like the fancy niceness of an in-ground pool. I started with Pardon My Take, where you guys were talking about the best pool activities. The best pool activities come from your days when you were in an above-ground pool with, like, when your family was poor. Like, doing a whirlpool is better in an above-ground pool. Making a wave pool, better in an above-ground pool. Volleyball and basketball, since the whole pool is one uniform depth, better in an above-ground pool. Jumping off your white trash deck into your white trash pool, more fun. So I understand that they look garbage. I know they're poor people pools. I would just say that all of my fondest like pool memories come from above ground pools.
That's just because you probably weren't in an in-ground pool. I mean, basketball is great in an above ground. Like your analogy of jumping off a deck into an above ground pool. What, you can't do that on an in-ground? You can.
Here, above ground pool is better for running, like jumping and catching the ball. It's better for Marco Polo.
Wait, what is an above ground pool?
Sorry. In-ground pool is better for running, jumping, diving, jumping and catching the football. It's better for Marco Polo. It's better for diving and shit in the deep end, obviously, because it has a deep end. So there are things. Listen, I'm a pool dude. I've had pools my whole life. I had an above-ground pool in the beginning. I had in-ground pools.
He's a pool dude. He's a pool dude.
I grew up in pools, so I can see the value in both. I'm just saying, if you spit on the above-ground pool, like you're too poor, didn't have a fun childhood with it.
There's an easy clarification here. Kevin, you admit that above ground pools are total white trash poor people shit?
The first thing I said to you was
all right, then we all agree. I don't think Kevin's wrong. He's saying that basically when you're a kid and you get to an above ground pool, it's basically like a no rules situation with an above ground pool. Because what's the worst that can happen? You're gonna bust an above ground pool, it costs like a couple $100.
You dive in and you break your neck.
Yeah, well, that also could happen. Yes,
listen,
that's fun.
In my blog, I clearly said if I couldn't afford an in-ground pool, I'd happily take an above-ground pool. Your original thing was above-ground pool with those like greater than. Like if you right now, Kevin Couch Clancy, were like, I can have an in-ground pool or an out-ground pool, you'd be like, give me the out-ground pool. That is lunacy if that's true. Because
I understand that I would be called white trash, I wouldn't want the above-ground pool. I'd have no problem inside. I would have no problem having an above-ground pool, like a deck around it. I wouldn't want to climb into it like a total trailer park loser. But if I had like a deck surrounding it,
he wants it. You can walk off the deck into the because when you get that little shitty ladder that you have to go up, that's like the saddest thing of all time.
But that's like in my head, that's the best. I know it's trash, but I'm like
nostalgia.
Oh,
yeah, it's nostalgia.
Yeah, because you listen. That's like I fucking, used to go to like I don't know, fucking.
This is the point. You
white trash place when I was a kid, and you're a little kid, you don't know any better, and then you go, you're like, this place is fucking disgusting.
That was so perfect because the difference between me and you is you've completely forgot about your entire life before you were rich. To the point,
Water Country. Water Country is a perfect.
Let him finish, Dave. Let him
Water
finish.
Country. Water Country. I loved as a kid.
Let him finish.
I loved Water Country. I loved it. You start getting there older, you're like, this place is the fucking worst.
Finish.
Yeah. When little Shay Clancy is too stupid to realize the world around her, everything's big and awesome. But once you have a brain and it starts clicking and working, some things stink. I would take the outground pool. It's just a dumb.
Dave, this is why you're wrong.
Hang on, you literally couldn't come up with something right there. You were like, it's
Water
like
Country.
And you couldn't think of one thing that you liked from your past when you weren't a supposed rich mogul.
Water Country.
You don't know where you came from.
Water Country.
Dave, sometimes it's fun to like do like scuzzy shit,
but
like
you
go
don't
into
know
a really crappy bar, play darts, and like drink cheap drinks. That's actually still fun to do. You can't all be moguls who like do Nantucket living and say Kevin's right. You've forgotten everything before you were rich.
No.
Name something besides Water Country. Name one other thing.
Like Canopy Lake Park.
Dave, it's like you could say though, but you get what Kevin is saying, right? Like he's not actually saying above ground pools are better than in ground pools. He's saying the nostalgia of it and the white trash fun of it counts for something. You honestly can't comprehend what it was like to not be rich. You're the worst kind of rich person.
I would take an outground pool.
You're literally the worst kind of rich person.
No,
the type of rich person.
Kind of poor person.
No, I'm not. Well, I'm not poor, and you're the worst kind of rich person. You cannot understand what it's like to not be rich.
It's true.
That
is rich, and
so
you
untrue.
At it forever.
Yes,
it's so untrue.
We nailed
because
it.
Because I'm saying in-ground pools are better than out-ground. That's a fact. That's just a fact. I'm happy we had this discussion. I like going to the beach. Beach is my number one.
We nailed it. I'm happy we had this discussion.
You know what you guys are? You're the worst.
You're the worst type of rich person. You're new rich too. You fucking.
That acts like they're old rich is the worst rich.
Dude's letting chicks with nose rings come to his Nantucket party. Get the fuck out of here.
Dan, he's partying with the help. He's partying with the help in Nantucket. Are you kidding me?
You know where the nose ring girls can go? They can go to the above ground pool. Then we can get weird.
In Martha's Vineyard.
And a nose ring girl will give you a hand job in an above ground pool.
Absolutely.
100%. Not show up to the fucking Belichick's purple party or whatever it's called.
Purple rain.